change.
Yeah, the problem I have with Fearless is when you want to try something, then your team ends.
Take a pocket pick, a little clud mid action, and then it's like the
Yeah.
game's over at 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's episode of Pros. Today I'm going to be joined by APA, the victorious Kaze, as well as Boal. We got to start with the series that just finished, 5-game banger, Shopify versus RED. Kaze, I'll come to you first. How do you feel coming off that series? Because I thought you were crushing Palafox in the mid lane.
Actually, I'm really happy that we managed to win. I thought we will more easily, but for me, it's a win. It's a win. We are just proving everyone wrong because nobody actually believed in us, even in the LTA South. So I'm really happy and just looking forward to the series versus 100 Tips.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice to watch today because it honestly felt like 5 games in a row. Like, regardless of win or lose, you're just winning lane. And then, like, I don't know, me and Azael were talking. We're just talking about, like, how Palafox is getting first blood every game by you and Doom. It was just like the stats at the end. It's like you're up 15 or so CS and like 500 gold at the end of 5 games, and I don't know. It was just complete gap today.
Yeah, actually, I think they were not. I think they didn't know too much about us. I think they were like putting themselves in a matchups they didn't like too much because at the end, I don't think even in the game one he was not that comfortable because I'm known for play melees, so when he locked in Yon, I thought, what the fuck is this guy doing? I was thinking he doesn't know anything about me, so he was kind of disrespecting me, I think.
Did you feel that you guys had better prep then than Shopify?
I don't really know because we didn't have that much time.
Yeah.
We had to play like 3 series in a row. Then I got later on the week because I didn't have visa. So we didn't have that much prep, but we were confident anyway that we can win and we were the better team. So it was just an adaptation in the series because actually we didn't know them too. Mm-hmm. We didn't play against them. So for me, the series in this cross conference will be more of who adapts more and better.
Yeah. Why were you so confident then if you didn't feel like you were that familiar with the team?
I think I just see the Parafox lane and I was saying I think I can win versus him, but I was not like disrespecting him. I just thought, okay, I can win, but I will not disrespect him because I didn't play versus him.
Yep.
And after the game one, I thought, okay, I'm feeling well. I feel I can win versus him, and I just focus on that.
What did you think coming into this series? Like, what were your expectations, honestly, coming in, right? I know the LTA South casters, you were saying a lot of people didn't believe you, but I was talking to them. They were predicting you guys 3-0 even before the series, so they were definitely believing.
Yeah, before the last week on the playoffs in Brazil, honestly, I was not believing that RED could go this far. But the last week, they improved a lot in the last week.
Yeah.
So I kind of knew that they were going to play well today. I was not expecting 5 games, to be honest. I thought like 3-1, RED would win.
Okay.
But I was confident that they could put a good game. And on scrims also, I think they're doing a good job. And it's nice to see Brazil performing as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, like when you just watch like the lanes, a lot of the lanes were just like, FNB stomping top, you're stomping mid, and like bowling was kind of even, except the games 4 and 5, which was like a smash depending on the way. It was just like, honestly, just solid laning from you guys.
Yeah. I was really surprised also, because as I said, before the last week, I thought you guys would never make finals, but you guys improved a lot, so it's nice to see this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think before the playoff start, we were like too much anxiety, so we weren't playing that good in Scream. So when we win versus Loud on the Friday, we just take the weight off because we were going to cross conference. So after that, we just improve and play it better.
How do you feel then, because you got promoted up from tier 2, right? Not that long ago. 3 of you did, in fact, which is kind of crazy. So to be, within the last year, you're in Tier 2. Now you are one series away from going to Worlds. Like, has that sunk in for you yet? That like that dream for most pro players, that is the dream, right? To go to Worlds, to play against Chovy or Faker or whoever your idol is. Like, that's so close.
Yeah, actually, it's my dream too. So I'm kind of happy because, as you say, that I was in Tier 2 this year. And before this year, I was in Tier 1, but I didn't even reach finals any time. So I'm pretty happy that I came along to this tournament. I'm happy that even when I was in Tier 2, I can prove wrong everyone because I got Tier 1 again. I proved myself too because I was kind of sad after not getting to LTA. So I'm just focusing in the next series because I want to go Worlds. I want to my team goes to that World because I have some old players like FNB. He's trying like 5 years to go to Worlds. So I'm trying my best just for him.
I mean, I know from my experience, like when I made Worlds in 2023, I was like cheesing for like a week straight. Like,
do you guys know that expression, cheesing?
Yeah.
A week straight, I was just non-stop smiling just because I was like, man, I'm a Worlds mid laner now.
Yeah, it's funny because also in the end of last year, I don't know if you remember, we were talking about what we were going to do because I was somewhat retired and he was without a team.
Yeah.
And we were talking like, I don't know if we're going to Tier 1 this split or maybe we can play together because we know each other for some time already. And we were talking about maybe playing like Tier 2 or something like that. But it's really nice to see that we made it here.
How does it feel then? Because it feels like sometimes, League is such a team game, right?
Yeah.
It's very hard to carry as an individual. So sometimes you are kind of a victim of your circumstances, right? Maybe you're in a team that is somewhat dysfunctional or the roster isn't working as well as it had been. Obviously, you guys were pretty public about that for this split, that things, weren't kind of going that way. So how does it feel to be able to get an opportunity for both of you where you're saying you weren't really sure if you were even going to be able to play in Tier 1? Are we going to retire? What are we going to do? And now to go from that to feel like, hey, now I really got a chance to prove like how good of a player I am.
Yeah, honestly, I feel extremely lucky because I met my coach, Sil, in a random event in Brazil last year. And then we started talking, and I still tell him that he's kind of crazy for like calling me to the team because I was retired for 2 years almost. And then he watched my games, watched my POVs that I sent him, and he thought I was worth the shot. So I feel really lucky because I think he's a really good like coach and manager overall. He deals really well with people. And I think my team is also really, really good. So I feel extremely lucky. And it's really different when you have a good environment, a good team. So I'm really, really happy.
Yeah, so about me, I feel extremely lucky too because actually I'm not Brazilian, so it
You're
was
Argentinian, right?
Yeah. I was kind of just having a hard time because I was not known in the Brazilian scene, and in the Latam teams they were not giving opportunity. So when they say they called me to Red Academy, I should say yes in the moment because I thought it was the only opportunity to go back. So I feel extremely lucky to the situation, the circumstances, and that it's going good now.
I mean, you're kind of going through like the downside of it right now, a bit, right? Like, I mean, yeah, I don't mean it as like a flame thing. Like, let's be honest, we had talked about this even earlier today, right? TL was doing really, really well last year.
Top of the world last year.
Exactly. You were kind of how I think people look at Flyquest this year is how people looked at TL last year. And so how do you manage the kind of up and down of that with pro play? Is that it's like your circumstances can change like this, right? You guys are kind of like riding on cloud 9 right now, and you're having the more tougher time where you weren't finishing where you wanted to.
I mean, last year was just like, of course you're stressed when you're like in tournament competing, but at the end of the day when you go to sleep, you still have like a smile. You're like, I'm first place in regular season. I'm like first place in playoffs. Something like that. And then now like all these like high standards that you set for yourself, you're like, I'm getting first place, second place, no matter what. And then I get 6th, and it's like, holy fuck! What the fuck?
The contrast is huge.
I mean, I think that's kind of like the beautiful thing about pro gaming, and it's also like the horrible thing, and competition in general, right? Is that it's like, you can win one day, and it's like the highest high that is possible, and then you lose the next day, and you're like, why am I even playing? What am I doing with my life? This is horrible, right? And I think that's like the kind of beauty of sports in some ways is that it's like 2 teams play a match, and one team is going to be on either side of that at the end of the day, right? It's like as amazing as you're feeling, Shopify is feeling equally horrible,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
And that it kind of has to be that way for there to be the joy. There has to be the hard part too, right? And so it's like if you come back next year and you have an even better time, you're going to appreciate it that much more,
Of course,
because of the struggle, just like for you guys.
I think it's just all the process of everything. I don't think if you lose, you will be that happy if you win. So every bad moment I had, it feels amazing now. You know, it's all the journey to here.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, but like from my perspective, it's like, finishing so low, it just gives me so much more, just like motivation for next year. Like, whatever happens for next year, it's just like, I'm like, I never want to let this happen again.
Yeah, it's for sure a complicated thing because the big majority of people like that compete, they lose much more than they win, unless you're like Cristiano Ronaldo or something like that. But
One team wins.
yeah, it's hard because only one team is going to win, and even if you're second, third, it feels really bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk to me a bit about Game 5. When you are going into Game 5, like, was the team still feeling really confident? Were you nervous a bit? Because Vivo had just had a monster Ezreal game. I don't know if you guys heard the stats or whatever, but he did the highest DPM of any player in a game in North American League of Legends history in all of the years. He did something, it was like 18, 16, something like that DPM. So he had a monster game. You guys lost. Now it's match point. Were you still kind of feeling confident going into that game, or were the nerves hitting a bit?
For me personally, I didn't have any nerves. I thought it was just we didn't play that well, and I think the composition we picked, it was not our best, and so going to the Game 5. We just talked about changing the plan, so we can do a lot more things, be more proactive. So that's why we pick Area and Nocturne. So actually, we felt really, really well. So it was just thinking about changing the plan and doing more things and just to fight,
Yeah, makes a lot of sense, and it worked out well for you guys. Let's talk a little bit about the 100 Thieves Pain series that happened yesterday. It's interesting because talking to at least a lot of the people that I had from LTA South, they were saying they didn't even think, Pain really was a top 3 team and so on. But it was interesting because I was talking to some of the North American teams that had scrimmed, and they said they thought Pain was the hardest team to scrim.
Wow.
So it's like kind of like very different, kind of expectations. What did you guys think about Pain coming in versus 100 Thieves? Were you expecting them to do well, do poorly?
Honestly, I thought they were going to lose 3-0 like much easier.
Okay.
Because I think they had a really tough playoffs in the split, and I think they have really good players. I think all 5 of them can easily be champion again, and they have like really good individual performances sometimes. But you can easily see that the collective is struggling right now. I think everybody in Brazil kind of feels it. And I don't know in scrims, I think maybe we need to step up because I was not expecting that information. But
it was just one team that told me that. Okay, it was someone's opinion.
Yeah. But I was kind of expecting a 3-0, to be honest.
Yeah.
I was expecting a 3-0. It was not about the gameplay. I just thought they were like mental boom. I think they are not feeling that well as a team. So I thought they will just crash.
Mental boom at the worst time. It just sucks, especially in playoffs.
As my thinking, I think Pain was a really good match to NA. I think they play well to NA teams, but the problem was 100 teams didn't play like a NA team. They like to play to fight a lot and do some
they
crazy.
Play like a Brazilian team.
Yeah, so they struggled a lot to play in a versus this team.
Yeah. What did you think about 100 Thieves coming in your confidence level from the NA perspective? Because obviously, we talked about it, but it's like they went 1-6 in the regular season.
Yeah.
People were calling them the worst team in the league, and then they just, they changed it in Dokla. Teams kind of seems to be able to turn around, and they crushed through playoffs for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, like, at the start of the split, I was just like, man, these guys are so terrible when Sniper was playing with them. But then when Dokla comes in, it literally feels just like he's Superman on that team right now. He comes in, he's like, everyone's mood is shifted. He's like, feels like playing better than Sniper. Everyone feels like they're just playing better right now. And then they just hit they like peaked just like that, like right before playoffs. They beat Lion, they beat me.
Yeah.
Shit.
Shopify.
They beat C9, they beat Shopify, and then like even the finals were super contested. So that like, I don't know. I think if they can keep the stride that they had going into playoffs, I'll be honest, like It's a tough matchup, man. I'm sorry. I would favor them.
Yeah, actually, I think for sure they are the favorite one, and I think for me it will be a lot more funny series because they like to play aggressive like us. So it will be decided in the fights. So it's more exciting for me.
How excited are you to play against Quid? Because Quid, I think a lot of people look at. I don't know what your opinion in the power rankings are, but I know that like pretty much everyone has like Quid, Loki, and Quad as kind of the top three from this split, right? And Quid, I think when he's playing at his best with River, to me they're probably the best jungle duo, mid jungle duo I think in the league right now.
So I'm pretty excited. I think he's a really good player, and as I said, I like to play Millis a lot, and I know he likes to. So I will just try to do my best and watch what he does. If I think he does something better than me, I will just take that to myself and just that.
Yeah. I mean, I think from like what we've seen in playoffs, Quid's been the best mid.
Yep.
In my opinion, honestly. So like, it's exciting to see him because like I think you're completely gapping Palafox today. So it's like I kind of have high expectations, and then I've high expectations of Quid. So it'll just be like nice to see.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a really bloody match.
for
We say that 100 Thieves is the North American RED Canids.
Yeah. They like to play a lot around mid and jungle, and we do as well. So it will be decided in fight and blood. So
Yeah, I mean it's really interesting because I know at one point last year, I don't know what the stats are like now, but there's a stat called like bloodiness, which is just like kills plus deaths, average kills plus deaths, and 100 Thieves had the highest bloodiness of any team in the world. So it's like they like to fight, right? And it's interesting. I don't know what your perspective is, but I feel like watching them, it always feels like no matter what, whether you think that they should drop a side wave or just play the side lanes, whatever, they're going to show up to the objective and they're going to fight you, right? And if they lose the first one, they're going to show up to the next objective and they're going to fight you again.
It always feels like they're playing two lanes. They're playing mid-top. They'll like push through that cycle, and then they'll play mid-bot, push through that cycle, and then they're just like holding that fist up, waiting for you to come, and then if you walk into the fist, like it's a fist fight.
Yeah.
But then the fist is always up for them, like similar to how a lot of the Brazilian guys play.
Yeah.
So some people say that the best defense is to attack. So I thought it's the philosophy for them.
Yeah. I mean, I think that like a lot of and people just talk about 100 Thieves and they say it's like they're the hands team, right? Like you have to be good enough at team fighting or you can't beat them because you have to team fight them like 10 times in every single game, right? And it's funny talking to some of their players, and sometimes the thought process is kind of like, if I believe I have better hands than my opponents, if I believe I have better mechanics than my opponents, I should team fight them as many possible times as I can because that gives you the most opportunities to kind of like outplay, right? And it's like, hey, if I think I'm going to beat you 7 times out of 10, well, if I take one team fight, that could be one of the 3. But if I take 10 team fights, I'm probably going to win, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So it should be a really, really exciting match. I want to talk a little bit about Vivo Keyd. You guys obviously played each other in the finals, and I'm sure you would be hungry to get a rematch with them. But we have the Flyquest match first. Flyquest obviously, has been, I think, to most people looked at as the best team in the West over the last couple of years. They took Gen G to 5 games last year at Worlds. They took BLG to 5 games this year at MSI. Have been dominating Europe. They 3-0'd G2, etc.
I kind of feel like that's stretching the narrative a bit.
No?
Because last year I think I was on top of the world.
Okay,
but
okay.
This year for sure. This year I'll agree for sure.
Very sure. Well, okay, at least I will say from Worlds last year till now.
Okay.
That's mostly what people have been talking about. But they are playing without Bwipo, right? They're going to be playing with Gakgos. So, how confident are you guys feeling going up against Flyquest?
Honestly, I'm a little bit unsure because, as you said, they're playing with a different roster, and I think Bwipo is a really important part of the team. I think all players are really, really good, but I think he's also a really important piece on shot calling and deciding things. And honestly, we're somewhat confident, but we respect them a lot. Like the whole year, we watch them play. Like we always watch as a team, like their VODs and stuff. So it's for sure going to be a really nice experience for us. I think they're by far the best team in NA, to be honest, right now. I'm sorry, but
I'm 6th place, man.
okay,
Ending you.
I'm just really respectful. Just kidding. But yeah, I think they're a really, really strong team, and we're for sure going to learn a lot with this series, even if we lose. But we think we can beat them. It's going to be hard, but we're confident, I think.
I mean, personally, I think, from my end, it feels like Gakgos has struggled when he's come in, and I feel like Quad's like kind of up and down. Like had a bad series, had a good series in playoffs. So it's like, I feel like if you guys were to win, since it's only Gakos, like that's how you guys can do it. You can win through the solo lanes, whether it's like, you get red side, go R5, get a nice counter pick, or you just have like strong, like, comfort picks that you're willing to play.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect about mid lane, but I think my mid laner is extremely good. He's like a really important part of our team also, so I think he can also be a really good win condition for us. I don't know how it's going to be the matchup against Quad, but I think it's possibly a win condition for us. So I think solo lanes can be really important this match.
That's where I would put like the 2 weak points of Flyquest right now. Like, of course, I still think Inspired's like a great player.
Yeah.
I think Busio has been having like honestly the best split of his career so far.
Yeah.
I think they're the 2 best players in the league by far.
So
right
like I think those 2 players have been smurfing.
Yeah.
And then like
for
with
the North.
Quad's inconsistency, and then I mean I don't think Gakos is like all that good. I'll be completely honest. So like I think that's where you can look to exploit.
Yeah, I think Boost is also playing really well, and it's good that we have Trimby. He's a really experienced player. He played like Worlds many times, and I think he's going to help us a lot on this match also because he's our main shot caller most games. So I think we can match them to their strengths. It's going to be hard, but I think we can win. I think we can do it.
Do you think, so you've played against both Miru and Quad, right?
Yeah.
So what's your opinion on mid lane matchup then? Because it's interesting. I know you were saying like you think, oh, Quad is kind of struggling right now, and we had an episode of Pros where we had coaches, and all the coaches were kind of saying, oh, Flyquest is really beatable, but then right after that they kind of crushed in the next couple of series, right? And Bwipo kind of took exception to it and was saying, oh, well, these teams are kind of just saying stuff based off scrims, but that doesn't matter. You have to beat us on stage and. So do you think that like they are vulnerable, or do you think maybe it's a bit like overblown based on scrim stuff? Because it seems to be like a lot of kind of like scrim drama. It seems like this split.
I don't even know if it's from scrims. I feel like on stage as well. Like of course they 3-0'd me from the upper bracket, but even those games, it's like I don't know if you recall, but my game 2, like my Ziggs game versus them,
Super winnable,
it's like Quad's down like 4,000, 5,000 gold. Like that's a massive gap. So I just don't think he's had like the best playoffs to play. I know he like smurfed for his Palafox, but like, come on, like anyone can smurf for his Palafox right now.
That's brutal. But yeah, no, I mean I agree. I tend to agree. Quad didn't have nearly as good a split as compared to like last summer.
Last summer I think he was gapping me.
Yeah.
He was crushing me, and like he was the best mid laner last summer. And then like I've seen the games that Gakos has played, of course. Like he played the 1 game for Shopify, lost. They're only lose to Shopify, and all of his other games he's been like.
He's played 2 games, right? Yeah, they played I think the 2 Rumble games, the one where he did win, but he got solo killed once or twice, and then the one that they lost where he got caught a couple times. So
I'm like, that's my 2 worries about the Flyquest team right now. Like of course, like I'm still an NA stan. I still want NA to win.
Yeah.
But like, you hear so much about Flyquest, you kind of want them to lose just a little bit.
Yeah, we feel this like as a pressure, I would say, because it's for sure the biggest challenge for Brazil, in my opinion. I mean, of course, if they had Bwipo, it would be harder. But I think it's going to be like a really good accomplishment for our region if we win, even without Bwipo. So we're really excited for this match. I think it's going to be like really, really like hard, but we can win.
Have you watched much of Gakos' games or anything like that since you found out that he'd be playing?
Yeah, I watched the games that he played, and the last time I came to LA, like 3 months ago, I scrimed against him, I think once or twice. Okay. And I think he's good individually. He is for sure like going to be good in the future, I think. I don't know how he's performing right now, like macro-wise and communication and stuff, but I think he can for sure be good in the next years and stuff. And we even spoke a little bit after our scrims. We talked about matchups and stuff. So it's going to be nice. I think we have a good shot against them. And yeah, we're studying the new Flyquest without Vivo.
How do you feel about like top laners converting from solo queue to pro play? Because a lot of pros I talk to say that that's like the hardest role to translate because they feel like you're in these really weird spots, your lane swapped on, you have to really know how to play weak side. So do you think that like is a pretty big advantage for you, having more experience, being able to play against Gakos?
Yeah, I think so. Also because I used to be a little bit like this, like the solo queue top laner, and then I think
Aurelia.
Yeah, I used to be known for like Aurelia and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think this year I changed a lot my approach to the game, to scrims and even stage games. So I think now I'm a lot better and different. And I'm really confident, to be honest. I think
like,
good job.
That's a big factor that we're also not talking about too much, is just experience.
Yeah.
Like he's played, what you said, 3 games, I think?
2.
Yeah.
Two games, and then like the 1 game in playoffs he did play, it was like a lose.
Yep.
Like honestly, kind of because of him.
Yep.
So like, he just doesn't have any of the experience that you have, like going through your playoff bracket, like that Flyquest of course had going through their playoff bracket.
Yeah.
So
It's a lot of pressure on him.
yeah,
to be
it's so
honest.
much pressure because
Yeah.
like
If they lose, everyone is going to blame
Everyone's just
him,
gonna, like,
right?
point
Fair
it
or
out.
not, people are going to say it's because there wasn't Bubba. Yeah, which does make it tough for sure. I'm curious, what do you guys think about like the current meta right now, right? Because I don't know how you feel, like different pros feel different ways about Fearless, but I love watching Fearless. I think it's a lot of fun. And I do like the idea of rewarding players who are more flexible and can, bring out champions that they can really excel on in Game 5. How do you feel about it from kind of the South POV? Are you enjoying Fearless a lot?
For me, I really like Fearless because, as you say, that I like to play some crazy champions, so it makes the game more funnier to me. This year you had I don't know, you had Vladimir, you had Zed, champions that before didn't even appear in the League of Legends. So
Well, and you played Zed even, right? This year? Yeah, exactly.
I really like, so I think it's really funnier for the pro players and for the audience as well. I think it's a really good improvement to the scene.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. Like I remember, like last summer when it was ADC mid meta, it's like game 1 you play Tristana, enemy mid plays Corki, then you swap sides, go game 2, then you play Corki into Tristana, then you go game 3, you're back on Tristana playing into Corki. So it's like, like as much fun as the ADCs mid were, it's like you can only get so much of Tristana Corki, Tristana Corki, Tristana Corki.
Yeah, I feel the same. I think even in scrims, it helps a lot you to practice different stuff. Because in the past, even for top lane, it would be like, oh, game 1, you play Rumble, Gwen. Game 2, you play Rumble, Sion. Game 3, Sion, Gwen. It would always be the same, like Cassante, that's always strong. And I think now it's much better, and you can practice a lot more, different champions and different playstyles. And on stage, I think it's much better for the audience as well. I think people enjoy watching different champions and different comps overall. So I think it's a really, really big change.
Yeah. The problem I have with Fearless is when you want to try something, then your team ends, and you don't have the rest of the day.
Yeah, you need to wait another day.
Yeah. Like it's all the fault of the Zed.
You take a pocket pick and a little Clud mid action, and then it's like the game's over at 15 minutes.
It's just team gap. Do you think that Fearless could be somewhere where you can maybe punish Flyquest? Because I know famously, Game 5, people talk a lot about against Gen G, even though Flyquest is really flexible. Game 5 versus Gen G, there was the Smolder versus Yone game where Flyquest, they said in interviews that they kind of like forgot about that matchup and they went Yone, and then Chovy answered with the Smolder and kind of destroyed them. And then also Game 5 versus BLG, in the press conference afterwards, they said that they kind of just like ran out of mid lane picks, and Quad went Zillion and then got solo killed at what, level 2, level 3 by Galio.
Yeah.
And so like those were kind of like famous kind of Game 5 finishers. Is that something where you guys think maybe Flyquest could be punished potentially?
I kind of think Quad's champion pool is big. I think like.
What do you think went wrong in those then?
This is from like the outside perspective, but I think like, for example, the Zillion one, I feel like that was like pushed on him, because it was like counterpicking the Galio if I recall correctly. It's like, I don't know. I don't really want to play Zillion into Galio. That sounds like such a trash matchup.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know much about other players, the champion pool and stuff, but me and Trimby especially, we like to try different picks all the time. I think we're by far the two that try most often picks in the scrims and stage. And honestly, I don't know much about Geckos also because he didn't play many games on stage, so I don't know much about his champion pool. But I think on mid, it can be something. I'm not sure about the entirety of Quad champion pool, but Miru likes to play different things, and he's really good with multiple playstyles. So I think it can be a good factor for us. And for support also, I don't know much about Bucio, but Trimby has some really good pocket picks that can be interesting and a little bit freaky sometimes. But it's going to be, for sure, something that we can use to our favor.
That's cool. How much do you guys feel like it's important when you're playing to represent, LTA South and Brazil well, versus just like, hey, I want to win? Because this is the first major best of 5 that Brazil has won internationally since I don't even know when. Like it was back way back. I saw some people posting that maybe something around like 2013, 2014, 2015, something like that. It's been forever, right? So like, does that feel like a huge accomplishment for you, or are you kind of just like, nah, I just like wanted to win?
Oh, for me it was like I'm happy because it's the first of this year too. So I was just thinking about that. But the most I was thinking I just wanna win. So just for me and for my team, I don't really care about that much because as I said, I'm not Brazilian.
Yeah.
But I really like Brazilian community, so I was really happy. And I'm just thinking about to win for myself because I wanna go worse, I wanna do well, I wanna go to the other leagues and be the best player I can be.
Yeah, for me, it's also important to think about the fact that if we win against North American teams, we're showing the entire world that South American players are also good and can be like invested. And I think for me, that's the biggest thing because I think the dream of many players is to play in better leagues and go to other countries. And I think that's really important. I think if we manage to play well against North American teams or at Worlds, I think it's really important that we show that there's a lot of talent in Brazil and South America overall. And I think that's the biggest motivation for me, of course, besides winning normally. But I personally, I've always wanted to play in another league. So I think that's really important.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we have seen that development throughout the year from the LTA South. I mean, when you look at Split 1, it was pretty one-sided when the North came down to the South. It was 8-1 overall.
Yeah. My bad.
There you go.
Yeah.
Could have been 8-0. Thanks,
My
APA.
bad. My bad.
Against Miru.
Yeah. And then, we look at MSI, and Furia almost beat G2. A lot of people felt like they should have beaten G2, but that went 5 games. And then here, you guys did take down Shopify. So do you feel like the South is maybe being kind of like slept on? People aren't, giving the players and the teams their due? And are you seeing that improvement as well?
I think for sure we are improving. I think the boot camp, the Furia that went to wars and then they came back. They crushed everyone in the screen when they come back. So I think everyone is improving the league in general. So I think we are getting closer to NA. I think it's a pretty long way to Flyquest as an example, but I think we are getting closer.
Yeah, I agree. I think in the beginning of the year we were not playing well as a region, but throughout this entire year I felt like we were constantly improving as a region, I think. And now I feel like we're pretty close to an A, as you said, except Flyquest maybe. Hopefully we can change this, but I think now it's much closer. The region.
It's hard to not respect Flyquest because when you are in the West, you are like Flyquest your role model. You are watching his game to replicate some things, so it's hard to not respect their journey.
Yeah. Is it inspired for you guys on Flyquest that mostly you look at, or is it?
I think so. For example, my jungler, he likes a lot of Inspired. He watches him a lot and he watches his pick. So it's like inspiration.
Yeah, my jungler also likes Inspired.
I think a lot of junglers like Inspired these days.
Yeah, I think Whip was also a really good player. I think he has a different approach to the game, and it's really cool to watch him play in a different style than most people. And you for sure can learn a lot with him. And I think it's also really good to see it like this.
I don't know if you guys know, but there's this year, instead of individual conference MVPs, there's the Key Player of the Year for all of the LTA.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's for all of the LTA, and it is not for just this split. It's for the whole year, right? So it includes international performances and everything. If you guys, quickly off the top of your head, because you didn't know that, who would you say we would be voting for?
LTA Player of the Year.
Yeah, so it's for both conferences and the whole year.
Yeah, easy, no?
I think I will vote Inspired.
Yeah, me too. I would say Inspired.
I mean, like, he went to MSI, had a solid MSI.
Yeah.
Like, won 2 of the 3 splits this year. His name should definitely be like minimum top 3 in that contest.
What do you think about players from the South then?
From the South? It's a little bit weird because, for example, in the first split, I think Pain was pretty dominant.
Yeah.
And in the second split, Furia was really dominant.
Yeah.
And for example, Pain in the third split, they didn't play well, and Furia went 0-6 in playoffs. So I feel like most teams were constantly in a roller coaster. and it's a little bit hard to say. I think Titan is a really solid player. I think he had a good year overall, even though they didn't perform well recently. I think some players from Fury also had a really good job this year. And from Keyd, my team, I think our first two splits were not so good. So it's hard to say, but the third split, I think, especially my jungler and mid, they had a really good performance. I think Miru is like our MVP on these playoffs, but the whole team played really well.
What do you think?
I think just talking about the whole year, I will choose. It's hard to know about Titan. I think he had a strong year, and after that I will choose both Tatu. I think they are the most valuable player of the South. I think Tatu did really well in the Messiah and LLC. I think I will vote them for sure.
Yeah, I think it's these two and Miru, I would say. I think they're the three most solid. Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. So it's going to be interesting to see who the votes are for, because I know that there is
Actually, now that he brings up, I think Miru actually can be in that contest, because he was like first place winter,
Yeah.
first place summer.
Because he swapped teams.
Yeah,
He's
he
one
was
of the
in
few
Israel.
Brazilian players that's like actually stayed at the top.
If I'm counting LTA South, like I don't know, not foreign age, no, not Korean. I will say both two, and if I'm counting Koreans too, I will choose Samir because he was consistent, the best probably.
He's probably consistently like the highest placed.
Yeah, that's cool.
I agree.
No, that's a good point. And I mean, I know that for the voting, they're going to have like some of the fans are voting, and there's people from the South and the North, you know, that are going to vote. So it's going to be people from different leagues and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see who does end up winning. But thank you all so much for coming in, and congratulations again. I thought you absolutely smurfed it today. So a well-deserved win. Next Saturday is going to be your debut here. We're going to have Flyquest versus Vivo Keyd. That's going to be really exciting. And then, of course, on Sunday, we're going to see you playing once again against 100 Thieves. And then, if you win, you'll be going to Texas, and we'll be getting to play in that venue there, which should be a lot of fun. You're already guaranteed to go.
Yeah, I'm going anyway, so I'm excited to go to Texas. But yeah, I hope we manage to do a great match against Flyquest, and yeah, we're looking forward to it.
And if not, maybe you'll get a second chance. If you win in the lower bracket, you still get two chances. That's the benefit of being the first seed.
It's OP.
I need to win everything.
Hey, 100 Thieves and you guys. 100 Thieves had their lower bracket run. Maybe you guys are going to have your lower bracket
Actually,
run.
we had almost the same run. We both went to 5 games. Then we 3-0 next. And in the finals, they win 1 game. We didn't.
There you go. We got the 100 Thieves of the North versus the 100 Thieves of the South. That's going to be on Sunday. That should be a lot of fun. I'm really excited for you to match up against Squid. I think that's going to be a banger. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, APA. Hung out all day. APA was on the analyst desk with us, watching your games. Hung out for pros. Appreciate it. Even casted. There you go. We're making them work hard. But we will see you all next weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.